Echo and HarperAudio present Edge Case, a novel by YZ Chin, performed by Samantha Tan. Her memory, like her guilt and early love, is involuntary, but her choice of the United States is willful. Shirley Gyoklin Lim, Among the White Moon Faces. After. Day 1, Wednesday. I know I can really talk to you because you're a therapist. You'll keep everything I tell you confidential, I'm sure. Yes, I know, you've said. You're not a therapist yet. But as far as I'm concerned, it's close enough. My friend, Katie Suhu, said bouncers started letting her into clubs with her real ID 2 or 3 months before her 21st birthday. Your situation is isometric. You're basically a therapist at this point. All you lack is paperwork. You did say my story sounds fascinating, so here it is. Everything leading up to the disaster. By the way, I realize I sometimes have the foreigner's way of speaking too formally. Believe me, I'm self-conscious about that. But I grew up reprimanded by elders for mixing up my TV distinction, as in tu and wos honorifics, which exist in both Chinese and Malay, and that has caused me to default to formality in America. When you are a foreigner, everyone else can take on the intimidating aura of an elder, especially if they are in uniform. Being very polite to train conductors and building security guards for the past decade has made my deferential way of speaking second nature. Though what an odd saying. What is my first nature? But back to the story. It all fell apart the day of the steam pipe explosion. I was at work. The air conditioning was cranked up too high, even for July. Someone came by our co-working pod to announce that we should go home early. This was unusual. The launch date for A. Einstein was in September, less than 2 months away, and we were behind schedule. Check the news. I pulled up a New York Daily News article and read that a steam pipe had exploded near our office. "Did you hear it happen?" Josh asked, pushing a button to lower his standing desk so that his face was slowly revealed, hairline first, then blinking eyes, all the way down to his jaw. Our desks faced each other, but his question wasn't directed at me. "I thought that was just one of your famous earth-shaking farts," Darren cracked from behind me. I did not bother pretending to smile at the joke. Being the only woman in the entire startup, I'd long given up trying to participate in the men's banter. They surrounded me, the software engineers, engaged in a lengthy and loud debate about whether it was better to go home early as suggested or to stay in the office. They kept saying smarter, never safer. Think about it. If an explosion just happened and we can't rule out terrorism, then it's a much smarter move to lie low instead of running around out there. The Twin Towers were hit by more than one plane, remember? Okay, but acting on the information available, we know that the city evacuated people from a small radius around the explosion. Why would they do that? Let's see. Maybe a small thing called asbestos, which was used to line these old steam pipes? So the smart move would be to quit the area while we're still not completely saturated by poison. Really? Poison? Such a lazy and inflammatory word choice. Fine, smartass. Hazardous airborne material, whatever. The debate had the tone of people placing bets on fantasy survivor brackets. The way they squabbled. It was like the incident had no possible chance of affecting their lives, or anybody else's lives for that matter. I left them to it and made for the exit. I would not be missed. The only reason they even created a quality assurance analyst position in the first place was to appease VC investors after a code release.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?